OutKasts podcast is a platform for us to simply express our thoughts, opinions, and experiences concerning our faith and events around the world. We're here for your entertainment, encouragement, and edification of the body. We're humans like yourself and are not the final authority of views expressed. Only the Most High Yah is. Feel free to agree, disagree, edify, question, and comment however you're led to in the comments. We are many members of one body under Messiah and look forward to communing as a family with mutual respect. Shalom and enjoy the pod. Kingdom OutKasts. All right. Welcome to another episode of Kingdom OutKasts podcast. I'm your host, Mashak Brandon Mashak, and we have here.
I'm Deja.
Eliyahu. Elijah.
And we are Kingdom OutKasts podcast.
Episode 11.
Make sure
Big
you
one.
like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Yeah, man. How's it going?
Real quick,
What's
we
up?
it's clear that the production level has increased
Improved.
greatly. Okay? So we got to give a shout out to 110 Media Production for putting this together for us.
Yes, thank you,
Definitely shout out to
110.
110. Shout out to 110, man.
Yes, make sure you guys follow
Yup,
them
rated
on
us.
Instagram and all the other platforms that they're on. We'll put their information in the description because, it's clear. It's beautiful.
It's like on Twitter when they be like, "You're not ugly, you're just broke." We were not ugly, we were just broke. Like,
Yeah, until 5 minutes later when Deja looks back at the video, you can see my pores. No, I'm joking. I'm messing. Sometimes a little less detail helps too, though. Like,
not zoom out.
Yeah,
Zoom out.
zoom out a little bit, nah.
So,
But
how was everybody's week?
Week's been good, again, I realized that there's only one way for me to live. And, work wise. So I'm starting to come into the realization that my corporate job's not going to get me to the wealth status that I want to. So I really got to go hard the rest of this month. It's basically it's the second half of the year. So I'm challenging myself. I put myself into a contract that I signed on what I need to do spiritually, physically, mentally, and yeah, it's go time. It's
Discipline. It's discipline.
It's discipline time. This is around this time last year was probably more than August. I actually started training for the marathon, and I'm I need to get back to that mindset. I don't know if I'm gonna run a marathon again this year. I need to, and I want to. Actually, I just need to go pay for it. I'm gonna go pay for it as soon as we leave. I'm just gonna pay for it. But yeah, so
I was gonna say I'll do it with you, but you're already paying. Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's in Columbus though.
Oh.
I don't know if it's here.
I'll be rooting from here or on the sidelines.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
We actually started off this friendship by going on a run together.
Yeah,
Well, that was fun.
that was fun.
Somewhat.
Some of us had more fun than others.
Brandon's not a runner.
Lifting
not a track
next
star.
time. Lifting next time.
Yeah. Not all as well. This week's been good. I have no complaints. Life is always beautiful, and I really do enjoy being down here. It's hot as frick, but it is what it is.
No, I hear that. Speaking of friends and stuff, I ran into one of yours at Madhouse.
Lauren.
Yeah. She works out there. Shout out to Lauren, man. Doing your thing. Getting gains.
Yes, you told me.
Okay, cool. But my week has been I've been cool, man. I've been cool. Back to work after vacation. Mad clients on top of clients, overlapping clients on top of clients. And which is a blessing. It's weird. During this time of year, it's usually signups are usually kind of dead. So the way the coaching funnel works is it's very top, up at the beginning of the year because New Year resolutioners. Then around month 3, it starts to die down a little bit, and then right before summer, there's a spike.
Yeah.
Right, or in June, and then throughout the summer, it gets really dead, and then there might be a little bit of spike, right after, and then it slows down throughout the entire year up until New Year's resolution time again. I'm at a spike right now. Hey, the Most High just blessing me,
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
maybe the Most High, appreciate it. Maybe the Most High just blessing the business.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe people are, I guess, developing a little different.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny. A lot of my new signups are people that are born around the same age as me,
Okay.
or not. Born around the same time as me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. Uh, so that means I get to drill them as much as I really, really want to.
Why is that?
Well, I mean, I do find
curious.
similarities in people born in the summer. We have this extra fire in
Oh,
us
yeah.
sometimes. So, I just look forward to kind of bouncing off of that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much my life, man. Work, business is being pretty decent, and I'm just looking forward to starting with some of these new clients.
Terrorizing people.
Heaven's fair. We need to work out though.
I'm
We'll
telling
work
you,
out sometime.
Tread lightly.
including Deja.
Tread lightly. No, I mean I see when you look at Brandon's videos, it's him deadlifting 8,000 pounds. It's like
Bring Lauren with us, maybe make it fun.
Maybe so. I don't like to just go working out with people because I'm like, I'm an athlete. I've been an athlete my whole life. What is you talking about? Like, if I don't show up with that energy, it's gonna be
So we can do the
There's-
running.
So I'll bring-
running.
exercise.
But I'll lift some weights.
I'll bring you some workout.
lift some weights.
You'll find it.
No pre-workout, please.
I'm telling you, workouts will give you resistance training gives you more progress than cardio
running.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it comes to actually wanting to shape and craft your body and how you want it to.
I might take you up on this.
Mm-hmm.
That's a workout.
Yes,
Huh.
ma'am.
My week has been. It's been well. Again, a little turbulence, here and there. Things have been good with work. Definitely been busy. They've now asked us to come into the office one Friday a month on top of our normal schedule.
Hallelujah.
So that's like really pulling it out of me. Like my Fridays are my Fridays. So I guess I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do what they ask. Also, just been, not thriving in the area of romance.
It's okay.
Unfortunately, I decided to end a courtship
Mm-hmm.
that I had going with a good man, good friend of mine. It's always disappointing when you meet someone and you want it to be a good fit, and you try and convince yourself that this will be a good fit, but you can't ignore your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
You want to be really sure when you move forward in such a serious way as far as preparing for marriage.
Yeah.
But outside of that, I mean, I've had a pretty good week. Speaking of working out, my mom calls me all frantic because my dad literally tore his ACL playing basketball in the gym.
Oh gosh.
So, they've been dealing with that at the house. And then I have my auntie's sister in town.
Mm-hmm.
She is my mom's sister, but she is younger than me. So it's kind of like she's my little sister, but really she's my mom's sister. So I just been hanging out with her, and I always take her around with me wherever I go, and she knows all my friends, and we have a really good relationship. So I swear, every other week I'm on here and I'm like, family members in town.
Yeah.
But I'm that person. It's I'm very open door, open heart, full house is the way I like it. Plus I love to cook for people. If she's not here, I don't have anyone to cook for her. If y'all aren't here, I don't have a man anymore. So I just don't have anyone to cook for, basically. If you're hungry, come over.
Yes. We're podcasting every week, every day, because we need to be fed. Now, Deja is a great cook.
Thank you,
She
Eliana.
is.
Yeah.
I just ate some potatoes that she grew.
Yes, I did.
Right, without the American and I was like, yo, why does it potatoes be good, but this is different, and you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, wait a minute, it's not pesticided and all this crazy stuff. So
those potatoes are so near and dear to my heart. I put them in the ground months ago, and I just look at them all the time, oh, my potatoes, are they ready? Are they ready? Are they ready? And I just have to wait and wait and wait and wait. And so finally the time came, and I harvested over 40 some potatoes, and I think I put down 14 potatoes. So next time I'm going to try and double it, and I'm going to try and put down 20 to 25 potatoes, and I hope to get 60 in return, 60, 65.
just hope when we find your blood type out, it's something
that I'm supposed to eat potatoes. Otherwise.
Did you make the collard greens too?
I did. I made collard greens. No, I didn't. Okay, no,
Oh.
I didn't grow those.
Oh, okay,
I
yeah.
just got those from the store. But I decided that I'm reimagining the collard green. I told them this is not your grandma collard greens. Okay, there's no turkey neck, no pork, obviously, and I mix it with
I
kale.
could do with the turkey neck.
And apparently, collard green and kale goes amazing together. So, all you ladies out there, if you're looking for a way to reimagine the collard green, please give it a try.
So there was kale in there.
Yeah.
That's what I was tasting, and my nigga intuition kicked in. I was like, Deja, where's the hot sauce? Even before I even tried the collard greens.
Yo, I need it.
Yeah.
Like, just try
Sure
it
did.
first.
I looked at bro like, look at you.
It's my nigga tree.
Yeah,
Right.
straight nigga
Look
tree.
at you.
Like, you just have
You
to
know
have
what
some hot sauce.
the face
It's
that came to
breakfast time.
mind.
You want hot sauce?
The face that I came to mind was Hillary Clinton when she was in the Breakfast Club pandering during her campaign run. Like, I keep hot sauce in my purse.
It's like, yo, be cool.
Right.
No, you don't.
Hillary.
Then oh my god.
But it was good without the hot sauce.
Oh yeah, it was all right. No, they were good. They were good.
Yo.
They were good. Yeah, so that's good.
But yeah, I all around, I say I had a good holistic week.
Mm-hmm.
I had a little bit of everything occur. I shed at least 1 or 2 tears, but that's good for every good week. You gotta shed at least 1 tear.
Yeah, I think
Shut up, Brandon.
Not you have feelings. Brandon's like,
I know.
You have feelings? As Brandon wears pink.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yo.
look, the Most High made all the beautiful colors of the world. So yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
amen to that.
All right. Well, let's get into our precepts for the day.
Okay, so our precept, because it's my turn, our precept is totally focused on the importance of womanhood, all things womanhood. We must appreciate the qualities of a good, virtuous woman. So today we're going to talk about how Abraham's servant chose Rebecca,
Sounds good to me.
Isaac's wife, Rebecca.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to be reading from Genesis 24, starting at 12, and I'm going to read down a little ways. And it says, "And he said, O Lord, God of my master Abraham, please grant me success today and show loving kindness, faithfulness to my master Abraham. Behold, I stand here at the spring of water, and the daughters of men of the city are coming out to draw water. Now let it be that the girl whom I say, please let down your jar so that I may have a drink. And she replies, drink. And I will also give your camels water to drink. May she be the one whom you have selected as a wife for your servant Isaac. By this I will know that you have shown loving kindness, and faithfulness to my master." Before Eleazar had finished speaking / praying, Rebecca came out with her water jar on her shoulder. Rebecca was the daughter of Bethuel, son of Milcah, who was the wife of Abraham's brother Nor. And the girl was very beautiful, a virgin, unmarried, and she went down to the spring and filled her jar and came up. And then the servant ran to meet her and said, "Please, let me drink a little water from your jar." And she said, "Drink, my lord." And she quickly lowered her jar to her hand and gave him a drink. And when she had given Eleazar a drink, she said, "I will also draw water for your camels until they have finished drinking." So she quickly emptied her jar through the trough and ran again to the well and drew water for all the camels. Meanwhile, the man stood gazing at Rebecca in reverence, silently waiting to know if the Lord had made his trip successful or not. And when the camel had finished drinking, Eleazar took a gold ring weighing half a shekel and 2 bracelets for her hand weighing 10 shekels in gold and said, "Whose daughter are you? Please tell me, is there room at your father's house for us to lodge?" And she said, "I am the daughter of Bethuel, whom she bore to her husband Nor." And again she said, "We have plenty of straw and feed and room to lodge." And the man bowed his head and worshipped the Lord and said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of my master Abraham, who has not denied his loving kindness and his truth to my master. As for me, the Lord led me to the house of my master's brother." I just love that story.
Okay.
I think that it shows, well, first, wisdom, in that the servant was thinking, okay, when I go here, I'm supposed to choose a woman, but I only have a little bit of time. So I need to choose her based on not only her appearance, but her character. So there has to be a sign that will show me in a short amount of time about her character. And I think that a suiting wife would be someone who goes over and beyond. Like, you ask for one thing, but they provide you so much more. So I want to know the one who has the heart that if I am in need of water for myself, she fulfills that need. She looks around and sees there's a further need, and she fulfills that need willingly.
Yeah.
And so, and of course, there's always like the prophetic side where he's saying, well, okay, if this exact scenario plays out, I know that that means that this is spirit led and that this is what the Most High wants. So I'm going to wait and see if this exact thing plays out. And it did. And so in his faith, he moved forward and he's like, okay, Father. But even still, he waited. And once it was confirmed, he immediately worshiped the Most High for answering his prayer.
Yeah, I think it is, first off, always important to be in prayer and in communication with the Most High and looking for a sign for confirmation on, what you're praying for and also, like, where to go, especially when it's, like, a serious thing, like finding a wife for someone. I think that this story does do a great job of that. This story, it's just beautiful to me because my main love language is acts of service. So when I see this, I'm like, wow, Rebecca was serving the camels. I'm like, oh, swoop her right up, So, but it's definitely something I would like a virtue I would look for in a wife, just like having a servant's heart. Because I feel like I'm pretty service oriented, so that is important.
No, that's definitely true. That's definitely true. It's a good a really good story, there that that happened with our ancestors, and in this day and age, the way people want to figure out what kind of girl they have is who's your top 5 favorite music artists. You can tell a lot about somebody's character based off of that. I've used that before. But nah, it's very important to have, a wife that, is willing to serve. And of course, as a man, you should be willing to serve too. Right. But, a man does seek and choose. It's funny because I recently had a conversation around this. I'm so independent minded and do everything by myself. I'm not the best at receiving like continuous acts of service, you know what I mean, or gifts.
Yeah.
Like, okay, like, a massage, a head scratch is great, you know what I mean, but it's kind of like I'm really comfortable with doing like things on my own a lot, and so I have to become a person that can receive, help.
Yes.
More. But I do think it's important to understand the compatibility and dynamic, like, okay, like, like how do you feel, like, do you feel like you have friends or a woman like who or have you ever seen that dynamic where somebody almost helps too much in a situation, or like,
yes,
or just maybe just not enough for the most part?
Maybe it helps too much, to the point where they become kind of dependent, like the person becomes dependent, and then I think that when that happens, the woman becomes resentful. But she may not know that she unintentionally created a monster. Like, maybe when you're young, it's like you have all this energy in the world, and you just want to do anything for this man. But as you age, you may start hating him. One day you're just looking at him with a side eye, like, actually really want to get out of here. I feel overused, overworked. So there's always a balance.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely important to look for a wife that serves. I know me personally, I have to become better at receiving acts of service or gifts, more. I guess it's the thing of like, when the more you receive it, the more you feel like you have to give it or as well.
So you don't want to give it either.
So it's like it's like a competition almost, though. You know what I mean? Like, provide the needs, but then you have to provide some of the wants too, right?
Absolutely.
Like, men have different ways that they serve than women have different ways that they serve.
Yes,
men like
absolutely.
to serve a lot more on the need, what do you need, a little bit, and sometimes women are a little bit more on the serve on what do you want, kind of a little bit. So it's an interesting conversation, but definitely a great story as far as looking for your wife.
And
Yeah.
I also have had a few conversations where I got a chance to just sit down with my mother and grandmother together and just ask them how they have just always done it. It just seemed like they just have done so many things and always on top of so many moving parts, and they never seem to get tired, and they're just on top of every single detail, and they always have the answer. And like, how do you do it without tiring? And they really just, it's almost like they just grow into it. Like, and so that is my example. Like, my example are women who are very much like going over and beyond for their family. Like, if they see a need, they're going to like provide for that need, but they're going to even think of a way to further make sure that the need is met in the future. Like, they are very, very thorough. And so that's how I aspire to be as a wife and a mother one day, because it's all that I've ever seen. Like, I'm talking about, like, these women are, like, incredibly organized, where, like, everything in their house is in a place, like, nothing is ever lost. Like, their husbands can pretty much trust and rely that if they're ever looking for something, they're going to know where to find it. They're going to either have an answer or just something. And on top of all this, they have peace. Like, they're not doing all this with just, like, angry faces. Like, they're doing it with love. And that's amazing.
I've definitely seen this with my family, my grandparents. My grandmother had multiple sclerosis. My granddad was also on a scooter as well. So I've seen my grandfather serve my grandmother more, you know, and helping her and doing different things. Like, he's definitely a great example. He was a great example of a man providing service. Now, seeing my parents' dynamic, my dad is, I get my over independent mindset from him. You know, he's very do everything by himself. I mean, he's literally he's a pastor, he's the graphic designer and media producer of his, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, well, my son can do it, I can do it too. So
I'm sure that's what he's thinking.
no, I'm messing with you, you know. But he just gets what done need to be done. And so my mom, you know, keys, wallet, phone, you know, make sure you didn't forget nothing. You know, I can tell my mom has had to learn where to draw back a little bit on some service, but she serves. She does everything a woman need. She, you know, she manages the checkbook. She, you know, my dad makes the money for the most part, but she manages the checkbook. She manages the house, all that. But I've seen where, like, you know, she's also provided space for him to kind of do his thing and not, you know. So like, I'm just in a interesting situation in life where I'm like, kind of learning, like, okay, that for myself, you know, these dynamics. So
Yeah. I think for myself, it's trying to learn what I was raised around, because both of my parents, they do a great job of serving each other. My dad served, like, just being kind of like the foundation for the family, of course, but served in, like, kind of organizing the house, maintaining the house, and order in the house, of course. But my mom, she served in a different sense, because she was the breadwinner, but also my dad had sickle cell. So like, when he would go to like the hospital and stuff, like I saw like a different level of service from on her end, because she literally had to, you know, start managing the house, like, and doing things, pick up on the things that my dad did do, just to make sure like everything was okay, and like my sisters and I would still have some sort of normalcy. So that was like, it was interesting. And now, like, I'm in a space where, like, as I am dating, I'm trying to figure out how I serve for my wife, and then how do I also like to be served. It's usually just food.
You're just hungry.
Women are real simple.
Yeah, I feel like I'm pretty simple, but
No, but you guys' needs grow as you get older. Yeah. So like, when you're like 20 something, you're like, I'm simple. I just literally want my girlfriend to make me a sandwich every 3 days. But like, as you get older, the list grows. Yeah. So by the time you're 45, you like couldn't even take a new wife almost, because like your old wife is like your wife. It like knows how you need things and when you need them and how many things you need. Yeah. The list grows. Like, it's not. Because right now you're single, so it's like, I don't need hardly anything. But if you had like a woman in your life like 5, 10, 15 years, what you need from her and what you provide from her is going to grow.
Yeah.
Peace is number one.
Oh yeah, peace
is
no. Pick something else.
And that's the hardest one too. He's like, pick something else, bro. That's crazy.
Can I just have peace? But yeah, let's
Can I just please?
yeah,
That's funny.
let's get into the Hebrew word
Yeah, man.
of
So,
wife.
oh my goodness, that's funny.
That's such an important word.
What? Peace?
Wife.
Shalom? Oh,
Shalom.
yes, wife.
Shalom.
Yeah.
Wife is too, because
It is.
they've skewed it so much now.
So there's multiple definitions for this. It could actually be positive and negative
A
definitions.
wife is not a baby mama. A wife is not a common law girlfriend.
So
A wife is not a roommate.
Yeah,
A wife is not a side chick. Okay? A wife is not another woman if you're a woman. Just, that's what wives are not.
A
So now
wife
we can talk about
is
what a wife
not-
is.
a husband to another husband. Either.
Like, yes, it's not a man.
Yeah.
It can't be a man.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the Hebrew word for wife here, is ishisha or isha.
Okay.
So ishshah. Shisha. Definition: woman, wife, female. Now this is NASB translations. Okay. I'm gonna start with the good ones. I'm gonna go from the bottom up.
Okay.
Women as wives, women, women's, woman of wives, woman, wives, wives, woman, wife or woman, widow, married, marriage, harlot, harem, girls, female, everyone, every, each woman, childbearing, adulteress. So it can be used. It really just depends on how you use it.
Yeah.
It can be used in positive or negative according to Strong's Hebrew Concordance.
Yeah.
There might be some deeper definitions in other concordances, but what do y'all get from that off rip?
A woman.
Yeah, it's leaning in on the female,
Yeah,
the
for
femininity of the word.
Yeah.
So you can't even get around the fact that a wife has to be a woman.
Yeah.
It has to be a adult female.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
childbearing,
Yeah.
meaning adult, like able to bear children by age. So for all these creeps out here in all the decades of who think it's appropriate to marry underage women,
Yeah.
the definition is childbearing. Like, I suppose you could be a childbearing age and still be a child, but a wife means a grown adult. And I mean, I was just gonna throw my own sauce in there. Like, it's like you're number one. Like, it's like, this is the one for you. Like, this is your wife. This is the one that you decided to make that commitment with. You walk down that aisle, and before witness and before the Most High, you said that I commit myself to be with this woman faithfully until I die, in sickness and health, no matter the scenario, outside of infidelity or abuse. And so that's a serious
Abuse?
commitment. Abuse. Yeah,
Is abuse like?
that's
is
one of
that
the
biblical?
causes. Yeah.
It is.
Don't you think?
We'll say that one more
I'm not,
time. I was
I'm not
reading.
advocating for abuse. I just
he was saying, is abuse, is that biblical? Is that a biblical like clause as far as like the divorce, reason for divorce?
What I can remember is infidelity is the main thing. But I mean, look, at the end of the day, the most High knows our situations. You know what I mean? And so again, we have to think the Most High hasn't put a lot of these marriages together that are being happen. Like, people end up with people they're not supposed to be. There's one thing I've learned in the Book of Remembrance as well, is that the Most High creates people with their rib already in mind of who they're supposed to end up with.
I fully believe that. And I think that you get a gut feeling when you know that it's not right for you. But if you ignore it and you keep going past go, and keep going past go, and that's when you would get into like full regret. Like, is this the wife that you have for me? Was there meant to be someone else out there? Is this the husband? Like, I mean, I guess it can get super technical because he's not going to literally reveal it to you. Like, you're going to dream this person's name, most likely. But you have to be in tune with that. You don't want to make the wrong decision in that front.
Look, I had a friend one time. This was somebody, we were just, really good friends. We link up here and there. And, they're in the faith. Not necessarily all the way in the Israelitish truth, but they understand and they're not opposed. And this was something I told him, look, if you wasn't flying all over the world and, you know, blah, 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 I would lock you down. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, Fast forward, that never happened. And they told me one time that I popped up in a dream of theirs. And the way they described the dream, it sounded like meant to be together type stuff.
Mm.
And I'm like, bro, why?
But did
why?
she continue to fly all over everywhere?
No. She's a flight attendant.
So still, yeah.
Yeah. So, and it was just like something that threw me for a loop. Like, why, Most High? Like, why are you throwing confusion in my face like that? You know what I'm saying?
Do you
Interesting.
is it throwing confusion in your face or?
Well,
is
no, he's not throwing confusion. Let me forgive me and retract that. But it was just a thing where it's like, bruh, like. It's
now you have to
confusing
keep
me.
wondering, like you a bit, like
Yeah.
okay, is this like was that?
Yeah,
meant to be
what is
something?
that? Like, you know what I mean? Dreams can be meaningless. The Bible says they can be. King Solomon does in Ecclesiastics. Or it could be a message, right?
Right.
So, you know, it's just interesting. That was just an interesting thing that happened before. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like no matter how much you're with somebody or you love somebody, some in the back of that mind is this is meant to be, you know what I mean? Or
Right.
something could happen. Me personally, through all my relationships, I always kept in the back of my mind, like, and just enough in my back of mind so I don't end up heartbroken or nothing. Like,
Yeah.
this could not happen. This could not be meant to be. It
Oh.
could be really good right now. You know what I
But
mean?
that's still not meant to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that relationships are the ones that are really meant to be. You have the understanding that you're gonna have to go through the highs and the lows of life with this person,
Mm-hmm.
and you know it's about being faithful. But you know, the goal for the relationship should be to always be at like 100%. Sometimes you can give 50-50 on both sides. Sometimes it's 80-20. You know, depending on how, like what the other person is going through.
Mm-hmm, that's
So
so
it's
true.
just like it's just like being willing to go through it with that person and not be like, I don't know,
Don't fold on them.
yeah, not folding and wanting to see it through. We kind of are diving into our topic here, finding love in the truth.
But I just quickly just want to tell Black women, you don't have to go through it the whole time. If you're going through it more
Yeah.
than you're not going through it,
And
get up out of there. Here's
Yeah.
a sign of a good relationship.
We're going to come
was
back
not-
to this.
Sign of a bad relationship.
I was not trying to advocate for abuse. I just wanted to get some clarity for it because I mean, abuse is very wrong, and if you're in an abusive relationship, like you should definitely you have all the right to leave.
To leave.
I
Yes.
lived under an abusive relationship, like in my complex, like bro would literally like ask for advice, and I'm like, bro, y'all just bad for each other. Oh, you get that girl, bro. Nah, you need to just go, bro. Just go.
You got to.
Oh, and not the same race. They're that. Oh yeah, you can be put under the jail. Oh, and you've been in jail. Leave. Run now.
Yeah.
Bro, you literally
And so
run.
Yeah. So you know,
Oh.
and yeah.
But yeah, we'll get back. We'll get
I was
back
gonna
to
say
this
we should
topic.
just keep flowing. I mean, we're already here, and just come back to the current event. But what do you guys think?
We can do that. Might as well.
Okay.
Alright,
We'll come back to current events.
So our topic this week is finding love in the truth. Dun dun dun. Finding
Deja
love in the
has the
truth.
most to say, so she should probably go first.
I don't know if
I
that's
think
true.
last
I
actually.
don't
Huh?
have the most to
Last,
say on this
because
topic.
you always have the most to say, and you go last. You
Yeah.
know, so
This is not the one topic where
order
you
of
don't have the most
operations.
to
I'll
say.
go first. I'll go first. I don't know if it's possible. Okay, I don't know if it's possible to find love in the truth. I
Do y'all
don't
hear
know.
the hurt in this man's voice?
No, I'm
That's
like I'm so. It's just like finding love. I can find love. I can fall in love. But with someone who's in the truth fully, I'm not sure because the truth is a lot, and I think it does take some time for people to like fully be in the truth. There's this woman I follow on Instagram, and I found out she's in the truth. Beautiful.
You're like, okay, follow, click, like.
Like, oh, let me go ahead and put up a shot. But she doesn't live here, you know, and that necessarily doesn't like turn me away, but it's just like
You can
long
still,
distance
yeah,
is like
still could work.
it could work. Maybe I should try it, but I don't know. But yeah, finding love in the truth. I know I can find love, but in the truth is like, of course, like my baseline for my relationships is, do they love the Lord? Like, do they have a relationship with Christ? Are they actively seeking Him? Not just like lukewarm in a sense. No, just lukewarm, and that's not a problem for me. But being in the truth is something that I think is kind of it's a newer concept, even for me. Like I'm still coming into the truth. Like
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm in the truth. Like I believe it, but I'm still getting the actual scriptural stuff down. The like the historical documents and everything like that. Like so I can fully explain it to people. But I believe it. But finding love in the truth, I think it'll be a process for me, and hopefully not. But with my wife, like if they're already in the truth, hallelujah. But if they're not, then I'm gonna just show them all that I have. All the information that I have come across to be like, this is like why I look at the Bible with this perspective, and also like how I live my life.
It's about a willingness to learn
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
I feel like that with the finding love and the truth thing is like kind of difficult because I feel like we're like embarking on like unmarked territory. I know there's nothing new under the sun, but for our parents and generation before us, like it was very common for them to both be a part of like the same Baptist Methodist church or something like that, and they're both, neither of them is like on the a whole other side of things. They're somewhere on the same side, and then they may like one may have different little nuisance like every single thing doesn't align, but like for the most part. So now we have this thing about coming into the truth. So it's like, do you find someone because you are now in the truth and they're in that same space, but prior you guys had different beliefs and now you're coming together? Or do you, both of y'all are Christians, you come into the truth, they're not there yet, but you still love them and you wait? Or do you believe what you believe as long as they have the fundamental belief in the Messiah and what his life meant and the truth of the word? Let them be who they are because they're on a personal journey, and you be who you are and believe what you believe because you're on a personal journey. I no longer think that those two things have to be so intertwined. I once did, but I don't know how realistic that is.
I mean,
I don't-
unequally yoked still comes to mind though,
Yeah.
because like the thing is, if you have one person that okay, y'all both believe in Messiah, but one kind of knows or biblical, there's always gonna when y'all are reading and y'all understanding of the word is always gonna be mad different, and there might not be an agreement. They're like, you know, Bishop, he was like, because he's been through all these stages we're going through. Bishop Williams, he was like, man, what is the truth? Folk keep on talking about what the truth is. The truth is Mashiach. That's it. The truth is Mashiach. And I agree and believe that. But from my perspective, it's all encompassing. You know what I mean? Okay, who was Mashiach? Okay, he was the Most High in the flesh. What nation was he born into? Who like he was the Hebrew Israelite Messiah? You can't. So you can't separate his identity, from his divinity in the nation that he used. So it's just like there's no separating the two. So if one person has this evangelical perspective of the word versus someone who knows who we are in the word, it's just going to be two completely different understandings of the Bible.
Because they're looking at Christ differently.
Exactly.
Or from a different
and
perspective.
everything differently.
But I feel like it's the whole 80-20 thing though, because if they believe in the Messiah and they're questioning some of the doctrine behind the identity of Israel and who they are, and even if they're like, okay, I mean, this probably is true, but like for me, I am not as interested in delving into those things as I am in like the basis of my character. Like, don't lie. Okay, I'm not a liar. I can focus on that. Like, don't steal. I don't steal. I'm not greedy. Like, I don't drink, blah, blah, blah. And if they're like working on their character and they're really fine, I mean, I don't know. We might be able to work it out.
I mean, look at this girl. I mean, no, yes, but
We might be able to
okay.
work it out. You
know
don't
what-
have to just be like, just so Hebrew. Like, we're just Hebrew together.
No, but I want
Like
you to.
we can you might, that person may have even more moral character than I do, and they're teaching me things and I'm teaching them things as far as like head knowledge. But if someone can teach you spiritual knowledge and like character things and the head knowledge behind Hebrewism, why can't y'all work it out?
Would you be okay with like, them, you being in the truth, and them not fully in the truth, but like the potential. The potential of
Absolutely.
them potentially coming in, but what if they never do though? That's
You gotta decide how far you want to go. Again, I agree with you, Deja. The character, all that is the most important. But what's one of the healthiest things a couple can do together?
Pray.
Read the Bible together, pray together,
Yes.
grow together. You will constantly have debates, contentions.
What if they're not passionate enough to debate? What if they're like,
it's just like
but really think about it. So let's say the man is trying to teach, right? You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, through the Ruach, you're gonna want to come out to, even if you get things differently, similar understandings of the word and what you're reading. And so just because somebody is in the truth and they have good character doesn't mean y'all are compatible.
that's the other thing. That's the other layer. What if y'all are both in the truth and you just simply are not compatible? That is such a thing.
Then that's dead. That is so dead.
That is such a thing.
Compatibility is huge.
Right.
Like just because you're a brew, I'm a brew. No, that doesn't mean we compatible. There are a lot of Israelites I don't like. I don't like a lot of y'all, especially the ones who blocked me on Instagram because no, seriously, like I remember I provided a couple. I'm Kefa, whatever his name is on Instagram.
not Peter.
What's the dude? He's been super popular on Netflix. He'd be talking about health. He has the locks and he has like a
no. His name is
something or
he has like a Hebrew name.
Anyways, you know who you is. You wear the hand symbol.
He blocked you?
Which isn't. He blocked me because I challenged him on a post about. Well, okay, cool. Like I believe you on this stuff, but how do you individualize a person? You talk about nobody should eat meat. But we got blood types. Some of us mutated. Blah blah. He blocked me. He didn't respond. He blocked me.
Brandon, this was such a tangent.
And this no. But I'm saying though, right? My main point is that you cannot like some people who quote unquote is in the truth.
Yeah, I was gonna say y'all believe
whether homies, whether it's supposed to be your brother or a sister, or in a relationship, right? And a lot of us are not likable. Like and at the end of the day, the Most High has a system for how He created us and He gave us different characteristics.
Yeah.
What you said? A lot of us are not likable.
Huh? I think a lot of people aren't I'm not likable to a lot of people. I'm too confident, or how some might say cocky or arrogant, right? I look at his confidence.
I think you're hilarious. Like I couldn't imagine who wouldn't.
I mean, but I'm not everybody's cup of tea, so I think we do just have to accept the roles, that we are a part of the body and some of his different roles. When I read about these tribes, I read how certain tribes intermarry into each other more often. Like Levite men often married Asherite women because the Asherite women were looked at as very priestly, very holy, a lot of kings and queens would marry Asherite women, and Levites being priests want somebody on that level.
Yeah.
But you take an Asherite man and an Asherite Levite woman, well, Asherites have also described as very warriors, very intellectual people. Levite women, super spiritual, don't even say the names of demons. Asher was actually described as being somebody who overshared the truth so much that it caused arguments. You definitely granddaddy, Asher. So
you literally are arguing with hypothetical people you got beef with right now.
No. I've noticed with Levite women, right? There's a level of sensitivity, of spiritual sensitivity that I just can't. Like they can't go down certain paths and conversations. They can't get into the rabbit hole like that because
they'll get
So the Most High has had a system for compatibility, kind of.
Yeah.
Some people can overcome those. Some people can't.
So what do you say to the Hebrew women out there who are finding this issue where like the men they meet that are super brews or like Hebrewism is a personality type as opposed as opposed to like I'm just a person like, but I happen to be a Hebrew like.
Bro, this episode has to get most views, bro. We gotta make
Like,
some really good clips
Hebrewism
out of
as
this.
a personality type is an ick.
Hey, when you come into the truth,
Like,
where your fringes, just, bruh, yeah.
It's unfair. Like it's not like so that
So
would
you think all Hebrew men are like virtually the same,
no,
or just have
but they
similarities?
do portray. I mean, I have seen some similarities, and like I feel like when you naturally just like someone, it's not always like a really uptight conversation. Like they may like know the truth, but like mostly you guys can just like you don't have
Talk
to have
about other
always have like
things.
deep
Yeah.
like deep
Yeah,
deep deep
of
intellectual
course.
like it's just like at some point it's just understood that this is what we know. So yes, I do see out there, even like if I see it online and stuff, not even people that I know, it's like Hebrewism, the men really take it on a lot more, I think, than the women. Like it's literally the personality type. Like
You know, but that's the thing. Like, so for me personally, I know I'm somebody who I need that sapiosexual intellectual connection. I have to have it. Like, you know what I mean? So it doesn't have to be that kind of conversation all the time. But, you know, me and my lady, we connected on that wave. Now, there are other incompatibilities in areas that we, you know, kind of, you know, trying to work through. So just communication. So, like, yeah, something as simple as, like, the way you two communicate are so different. One thing that's interesting about, you know, me learning about blood type is you really learn how people receive information.
Yeah.
Like O's more are described as more logical, five senses to gather information. A's are a lot more sensitive. You need to connect to their feelings to convey information. B's a lot more nonchalant. Let's get to the deeper conversation, the deeper meaning. Let's get away from all the surface level stuff and feelings and senses. What's the meaning to this? AB's are a wild card. So like you learn how people process information and converse. So you can be compatible in one area, but the communication is off. You can be compatible in the in communication, but the faith is off. You know,
Right.
so like it's kind of like nobody's gonna be exact perfect fit, right?
I guess so. And there's levels though. So because like if I were to use Elijah as an example, I do not think that I could not see Elijah going for and being like super compatible with like the super like very Hebrew woman, like head wrap, earthy, crunchy. Like I just don't see that being his vibe.
I could see him
could be
on
wrong.
that. I could see him on that.
Okay, that was perfect.
Okay, good. Okay, look at this guy with the quick
You
hands.
already know.
I mean, I can let him speak to it, but I'm just saying because he's like has stated that he's not a super brew like, but he's in the truth. So I think that there must be a woman out there who's like somewhere in the mid-level, like where you're at.
Yeah.
I think for me, I don't think that I'm compatible with like a super brew because I'm also kind of argumentative.
Uh-oh. What does the word say?
get the root of it.
What is that verse that says
I'm
it's
not
better to
trying
be
to-
stuck on the roof of a house or something like that than with a
Don't pull it up.
woman?
I'm not argumentative like that, but I'm just saying if we can't have like, if all the conversation is like deep, just overly deep, like I'm gonna at some point be like, yeah, but this, or just like I'm not going to be able to help but to say. So maybe somewhere is there a mid-level brew?
Proverbs 21:19. It is better to dwell in the wilderness than with the contentious and angry.
I just want a woman that loves Jesus. You know?
I cook, I clean, I don't smell like onion rings.
worth the headache. I'm okay.
Oh man. I hear you.
I just think that a calmer man would be more my vibe, and most brews
Are intense.
They're so intense. Like, just be cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been through the intense stage. Like that was a stage for me.
That might be a thing. There might
No,
be some
like,
that
I've
taper
noticed-
off a little.
No, I've been case study. I've noticed people coming to the truth. There's like it comes in waves. It's so much information that you
Yeah.
just have to share. You just
Yeah,
have to
yeah,
share.
Yes, yes.
Just have are just intense, and then over time you realize, okay, this is causing more arguments and
Right.
more, and I'm breaking, and I don't even have family left, and then the remorse, and then you're alone for a good minute where
Yeah.
you're just not around people,
You're just
and
sitting
you
there.
kind of slowly come back out. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I'm calm now.
That's funny.
I'm at that part. I'm calm now.
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe
But I
like,
had passionate moments.
so then it's like finding love in the truth is like finding someone who meets you where you're at. So that's like for anyone out there. It has nothing. It's not only faith based, but it's like finding someone who like fits your speed, like where you're at this time. That's why I tried to use Elijah as an example. Like if he found like this super brew woman who's been in this for like 10 years and she just like very like following all these laws and dresses a certain type of way, it may not be a match for him. Even though in theory she's the most righteous possible woman, that might not be a match for him. So is it like, are we going out there just looking for the person that's like leaning the furthest into the truth, or are we looking for the person who can meet us where we're at and we meet them where they're at?
In the truth?
In the truth.
Okay.
All things in the truth.
I think about more meeting them where they're at and them meeting us where we're at. I think I wouldn't personally want to be seeking someone who's already 1,000% in the truth. You know what I mean? Like is gung ho and following all 600 commandments. Like I don't like that would be. I would like,
girl.
oh my gosh! Like, and also like I don't know. Like if like I want to meet someone where they're at, so you know I can. I don't know. I feel like they would someone who's already deep into the truth, woman wise, like they'd be like, oh, I had to take the lead spiritually, you know.
I feel like there's a really relevant
dangerous thing to
scenario
think
to this, and we can cut this part out and there's a really relevant scenario. But I would need Deja's permission to continue.
Please continue, Brandon.
Okay, so I think really, so like when around me and Deja first met, right?
Whoa. Pause.
You pause. You know where I'm going with this?
Yeah.
Deja was. Do you want me to pause?
Continue.
No, I mean, okay, cool. So Deja was telling me about somebody who she was thinking that she found attractive and that she was, might want to, should I continue?
Yes, continue. Please just go ahead.
She was like, who's that? So who's that guy over there with the beard? Ushering at School of Hebrews.
Please zoom in on my embarrassment.
Who is that?
Who's that? We talked through it or whatever, and then she realized, that y'all might not be at where, and she decided not to go there because, she realized, it might not be compatible, even, but, hey.
Yes.
It's a good face, so that I think that's a real in life
handsome guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a. But I mean, look, we saved heartache, and now we have a podcast, and it's not weird.
Yeah, this was pre-podcast, so it would have been very different.
Yeah,
y'all probably wouldn't even have me on the podcast. It'd just be all like,
right? You know what I'm saying? Thank the Most High for keeping us from not experiencing certain relationships, right?
But then what did I do? He saw my friend, and I was like, well, I mean, I feel like men, like, they kind of know what they're like leaning towards. So it's like, I was like, he should talk to, like, of course, like, she's single, she's not in the truth, but if there's some kind of level that maybe
she actually
could be compatible,
in the faith, at least, I think that's the thing.
So this is why we're single on this couch. No, like, not really. Like, I think that that would be an example of, like, a beautiful girl. You saw her at church, but if you ever really, like, try to lean in on it, she's not there with the faith. Like, it's not, like, it's not high on her list, really, yet. But she's, like, only 24. She's very young. So it's, like, those are the mismatches that happen when you're in your 20s, even early 30s, and makes it hard to really just lock in with someone.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I somebody at least has to be in the faith for me personally.
Oh yeah, definitely in the faith. But like I said earlier, like it's actively wanting to seek a relationship with the Most High. Actively, like there's like a woman that I was with last year, and actually I had known her for like many years. It's not like I wasn't like surprised by anything that I got, but she believes in Jesus, but she's more of the one saved, always saved crowd. You know, she's not active in a relationship.
Which that'll be a
And,
later topic for us.
Yeah,
It's kind of like not a casella. What's the word I'm looking for? It's like a huge excuse. To do anything that you want.
Yeah, and like live however. And it's like, oh yeah, you know, Jesus got me. I was baptized when I was 3.
Oh, wow.
You know, but I realized like I fell for the potential, you know, and it's just like it's not gonna work, you know. So that's why I'm just like, the standard is, do you actually want to have an active relationship with the Most High, you know, and with Christ as the foundation of our relationship. But yeah, I don't know. A super Hebrew woman would probably be intimidating for me. I thought that you two were together, if I'm being honest.
Really?
School Hebrews, yes. Or when you guys first came, I was like, oh, they're together. Okay, cool.
We didn't even sit by each other at church or anything.
Right.
That don't mean nothing, you know.
It's like, what's up?
This is what us as humans do, man. We just pair people up in our head.
I think there was just was no young people at that time, so it was like there's a young man and a young woman sitting on opposite sides of the church.
You know what I asked Deja? Like, why, she wouldn't pursue, you know?
We're probably cutting all this, so continue. Just so you know. But you have to tell him now.
She said, at the time, Deja, you know, you've already been on this podcast, but you were, into the
doing shrooms. What?
Well, I wasn't gonna say that, but the devil's lettuce, right? Which we've all indulged, right? And she was like, I just don't think I could be with somebody who doesn't. And I'm like, could you put away something?
He's like, would you choose weed over a man? I'm like, well, no. I'm not crazy.
Weed can keep me warm at night.
Hey, the beautiful thing though, not even for a man. She put it away.
Yeah,
that's I think that's a beautiful thing.
It is.
But
I was with the man when I decided to put it away, so I won't say that it was.
Okay.
But it wasn't for him. I'm just saying.
Okay, got it.
Right.
Gotcha. So yeah, man. Funny.
I think my literal words was like, I don't know. I feel like he probably wouldn't do shrooms with me. And Brandon's God. Like, duh. Probably not.
So he'd hold you accountable?
So sorry that he doesn't want to do drugs, Deja. You met the man at church.
Oh my gosh.
He
does shrooms.
Yeah.
Bro.
I've done shrooms.
Me too. Twice. Yeah.
I've definitely thought about doing drugs with my significant other.
Thought about it or done it? Because
I mean, I used my ex, but I don't know. I don't.
Not anymore.
No.
Yeah. Which is very fair.
I want to be with a woman who'd hold me to not having vices. I'm not gonna flex. Please don't please don't encourage none of that. I need you to be so much peace in my life that I don't need that
drugs.
Stuff. Don't provide so much contention and I feel like I need some type of vice.
Right.
My maturity level has literally increased since then, because that was, I don't know how long ago that was.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm genuinely more mature in my mindset now than then, and that was less than a year ago.
No, and I can tell. Happy for you. But I think we're all a little bit more mature than we were before.
I also want to say that
even some of the backslidings.
Yeah, a little backsliding, but not too much. I think that when it comes to finding love in the truth, when I first came into the truth, I was so excited to meet anyone who was in the truth. So if there was a man that crossed my path and he knew about these things at all, because it was so new to me, I'm like, wow, someone out there actually believes in who the Messiah is and who the people are and these mysteries of the word, and wow, he can talk to me about this. So it would be intriguing, and then I would kind of realize there's a bunch of other reasons why the relationship couldn't work. This person is very moody, or this person is kind of rude, or they're they kind of bark at you or preach at you turn to Matthew, this and that. It was I met someone like that before, and it was I'd be turning quickly, but I'd be okay, this is a bad feeling, low key.
Yeah, bro, this is drill sergeant vibe.
And then you get into doctrines. I came across that same person who's doesn't believe in the virgin birth, believes in reincarnation, and so now I'm just confused, because I'm okay, so he's in the truth, but he doesn't believe in the virgin birth. so does he believe in the Messiah at all?
Mm.
And then I can't argue with that person because like turn to, and I'm like, okay, so I had never heard of camps, and they're not part of a camp, but like it was very reminiscent of like what you might have learned at a camp. So now I'm more confused because I thought I was trying to find somebody in the truth. Now I'm realizing that our beliefs are actually not the same at all, and you're barking at me, and you don't even believe in the basis, like the normal things that I thought that everyone understood about the word.
Well, Elijah said something very key. Somebody who's actively seeking the Most High for yourself. So that's like, I would definitely want to be with somebody who's reading enough. See, I don't mind being challenged, right, with my significant other on my interpretation on something. I just want us to actually have at least a general agreement on the Messiah, on our identity. Everything else, we can work that out. I just want you to know who we are, who the Messiah is, and who we are in relation to that. Everything else, all the other stuff, hey man, we can get into it. We can agree to disagree. You know, so that's where I'm at with that.
It's not. I don't. Being in the truth necessarily isn't a salvation issue.
Knowing you are a bloodline from
One of the
ancient
tribes,
Hebrew, Yahshalam, is not a salvation issue.
Right.
So then that
But
goes back
it puts
to
you in a little bit
what
more
we
of a
were saying
dangerous
earlier,
position.
as far as like levels of like where they're at in their walk. If if what we're saying is not a salvation issue, then why do they have to be exactly where you're at with your exact beliefs for y'all to even be able to be compatible, have a relationship? Like, what if the love of your
I
life
never
is-
said that.
I didn't. I said that either. I said I'll meet them at where they're at. And no, that's okay.
Yeah, I've said as long as you have a heart to learn, then that's what's important. You know what I mean? Like I've come across a lot of women in the truth who at least have a heart to learn. You know what I mean? And I think that's what's important. Some people are just stubborn.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you think that do y'all think that genuinely there's a good mix of people, of like males and females, you know, women and men that are young, single, whatever, want to start a family to find each other in the truth? Because it seems like there may be like a lot more men than women or whatever. Like, are there opportunities there?
Scarce.
It seems like we might be getting a little too narrow now. Like,
Yeah, I mean, from my perspective, is like there's a lot more men than women in the truth that are single.
right, I agree.
And it
just makes it more narrow. It's just
for now.
it like, how narrow do we want this stuff to get? Like, at some point it's like, all right, now we're putting ourselves in a very, very small box. How can you find someone when your box is so small?
I hear it. At the end of the day, my prayer is, Most High, put me with who you had in mind during the creation of me. Put me with the rib that you created with the mind that they were my rib. That's it.
Amen.
That's a deep prayer.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
Yeah, man.
That's how you find love in the truth.
Well, shoot, we beat this dead horse.
Yeah.
Current events.
Current
Alrighty.
events.
We got some new scene news, some new snake bite news that came out. I think there was an influencer, a bodybuilder,
What's
who was
his name?
on, I forgot his name, Joe something. He was on
I've seen him a lot.
Joe Lindner, a German fitness influencer. He was 30.
Okay. I've seen a few of his stuff.
He passed
30.
away
Goodness gracious.
on July 1st.
Very young.
Very young, yeah.
Rest
Rest in peace. But on a podcast about a week or two before, he was talking about getting jabbed 4 times with the boosters from the snake bite and all that. And yeah, I don't know if he was on steroids or anything else, but it's very unfortunate he passed away at 30 because he's a fitness influencer, so he's
Right. So it's not a lack of health and fitness.
right.
Wellness.
So like, you know, what's going on here? But
I felt things got very quiet in regards to the vax. I was watching an interview on Joe Rogan, which was Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And so that's what kind of reignited like my interest in what's going on with the vax. He pretty much got on there and just like told all the research that he had been doing for the last 15-20 years related to the links between autism and vaccines, and he's talking about pollutions, and he believes that you can no longer fish in any salt water, like whatever,
Like,
lake water,
I think it's all
fresh water.
yeah.
In the United States of America,
Yeah.
because every single water source is polluted, and he has evidence to back this up.
Mm-hmm.
Years worth
Yeah.
of research, and they're trying to shut him up. He's actually gonna run for president, so I don't know if he's another control dom. I don't know, but I'm just saying I was interested and intrigued.
Yeah.
He was like, why don't they have autism in the Amish community? And if we look at the statistics in the years, like he really went in, and I was like, oh, this is like real information that he's dropping right here, like about vaccines.
I don't know if he is going to make it to even primary.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if they're gonna let him do that. But I mean, it's in his like his family. I mean, you know,
Yeah, he's
JFK
a
was like he was going against. What was he going against? I think he was going against.
He's definitely he went on a
the Federal
platform that's controlled Joe Rogan. Like, yeah, I mean, I like he has a cool podcast, but come on, I mean, he got the one-eyed symbolism, everything.
Yeah.
But nah, I mean, look, man, if there's one thing I've learned about occult, in their books they talk about how they have to tell you the truth. So he could be control opposition, and everything he's saying could be true. Thing is, it's not going to impact us enough.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I honestly think we all have nanotechnology floating around our bloodstream. I think we all have some of this stuff in our body. Now, whether you actually took the jab, you know, I think there's something else, you know, there. But you know, shedding is a thing where people, vaccinated people, were shedding onto you know, jab people. We got to say something other than that. We got to use like cover words for censorship. But yeah, so there's so it's a thing where it's like, nah, we all have this stuff. We all quote unquote have the mark of the beast in our body, right? But it's really just a thing of our salvation, you know, it keeps us pure. That's why, you know, in the word said, you know, you shall take up serpents, and if you drink any deadly thing, you know, you'll be healed. Like, we're all poisoned. Some of us higher than others, and that's why we just need the continuous repentance and grace, because it's all in us, man. I mean, it's all in us.
Yeah, I mean, it's been in us really, in our parents, our grandparents, you know, like I feel like really since, I want to say, the introduction of nuclear power.
The water system is polluted.
And you got to think about the water system, like, it goes up into the sky. We don't even have to get on chemtrails. It goes up into the sky, then the water comes down, it goes into the water, fish, you know, all the animals eat
everything that grows.
Water, everything
we spray it on our produce so that it can grow.
It's like inevitable that it doesn't get into our bodies.
Part of the ecosystem.
Yeah,
things just got so quiet with the vaccine. Just like I was saying about the metaverse, it was everything, and all of a sudden it just got very quiet, kind of suspicious. I think they're gonna roll it out with more. I have a friend who is a professional soccer player, and she's been traveling around Europe playing soccer. And she was telling me that she genuinely, like, nobody wants you to use cards anymore, like in restaurants and stuff like that. So like even related to like the vaccine record, like everyone is using their phone for everything. Like they want you to. That's their preference. They don't want you to use cards and have like a separate wallet. Everything's on there. So while things are quiet, it's still progressing.
I mean,
subtle.
I mean, what do we think they're gonna put in this lab grown meat, right? Like, this stuff is probably, I mean, if we're gonna be honest, I already think they're feeding us children from the trafficking industry.
Super dark, super dark, Brandon.
Okay, do we think we have enough animals to feed everybody on this planet still?
I don't.
Or enough is being produced?
But are there enough trafficked children to feed us?
The traffic industry has been the biggest.
But they can just mass produce cows, thousands of cows. There's not that many. There's way more cows and chickens and whatever running around than trafficked missing children.
I think that the children are way too valuable.
There's nowhere to keep. Yes.
I don't know.
There's nowhere to keep millions of trafficked children.
I would like to, check out.
Like, you can go to a dairy farm and there'll be 20 to 30,000. You can keep 20 to 30,000 like cows on a farm easily. That's fine. Where can you keep 20 to 30,000 trafficked children?
And what they need is Soylent Green. Okay, they told us this years ago
not there yet.
that we're gonna be eating people.
We're not there yet.
Yo,
I
do you
think
know?
there had to be
We're not there
You
yet.
can look up articles of human DNA found in Taco Bell, McDonald's, Wendy's. I mean, come on.
I do think that they find ways to stretch the
And-
meat. I do think there's a percentage that's not like genuine meat, and they're finding ways to stretch it. But I do not think that it is trafficked
I'm
children.
gonna have to just put graphics on the screen. All this conversation. You got certain
And I'm gonna have this
restaurants
exact
with a pedophile with a pedophile symbol etched into their logos, like Chipotle. Like, y'all, I'm telling y'all, yo, people have been eating people from the beginning of time. And so you can't put it past
Knowingly
them.
and willingly. I do not think that they are microdosing
Okay.
us with orphan children meat.
Okay.
That is too dark for me to accept.
Do you know that there's aborted fecal cells inside a lot of food? Like, it's called, but it goes by the name Cinemax.
Why would they want to put that in food? Because it's also very valuable. I can see why they put it in vaccines, but food
They
just
put
for
it- it's in
consumption.
yo, dude, you just literally.
You gotta start
tell you, there's
building up
official,
covenants.
there's official documents about this stuff. It's been in Pepsi. It's been in Coke. It's been in
For what benefit?
for what benefit? Yo,
Get us to draw into covenants with powers of darkness, you know?
I mean,
Subconsciously?
seriously,
Yeah.
it kind of makes
don't
us hypocrites almost to talk about other people if we're doing the same things, even if it's unknowingly. Like, I mean, I'm telling you, like, it's really just a thing of witchcraft. Like, there's even fecal cells in chemtrails. Like, look, at the end of the day,
Fetal,
Even-
not fecal.
I was like,
Fetal.
wait, okay, no, we're
Fecal
talking about.
matter
oh, I mean,
Yo, there is some disgusting stuff out there. Is fecal matter in the chemtrails?
look, man, all I'm saying is they're using these people, unfortunately, using these children for multiple different reasons, and one of them is to feed it to people. Like, I'm telling you, I mean, Impossible Burger and all this vegan meat and lab-grown meat and, bruh, come on, man. Man, all right, cool.
Yeah,
So lab grown meat. So that is actually our alternative thought, like cloning and lab grown meat.
They've been telling us this.
yeah.
Dystopia is Utopia.
Oh, Utopia.
Utopia, perfect example, bro.
I'm not.
I've
That
never
came
seen
out
it.
years ago.
Okay.
And they had the whole Bill Gates character. There's a pandemic going around, especially affecting kids. Oh, and the Bill Gates, wait, I have the solution. I have the vaccination. Oh, we have lab grown meat now. Bruh, like, it's the same thing we've been seeing.
So
Like,
the thing
they
with the
create
lab
the
grown meat though
problem.
is gonna be that I think that like nobody is just sitting around like I want lab grown meat. I think it will become like not really much optional, and the people who are gonna suffer are gonna be those who can't afford. So like the lower class is gonna end up eating it.
I think
3D printed.
I think that they're going to. Oh my gosh, that'd be crazy.
No, that's
I think
that's
that they're
one of
gonna
the things they're using.
It's gonna. What they're going to do is they're gonna force farmers to stop farming and like
They've been doing that.
They already are.
They've been doing it for
It's
years.
with this clean energy movement, and from that's how lab grown meat is going to get all the more. I don't want to say popular, but like forced down our throats. Like, yo, you'll
There's-
have to eat this. You
There's
know?
already websites where they offer human.
In Europe, they are literally like they're shutting down farmers crazily.
Yeah, they've been doing it here in the U.S. A lot of them have been really loud on social media. Like,
Yeah.
look,
It's all part of the agenda.
it is.
It's like Phil in the future. Like I don't know if you guys used to watch that show, and they would just spray like food out of a can.
Oh yeah, the microwave.
Like they would literally just like tss, and like a whole steak would just like appear on the plate. And I just thought, I thought it was funny, I guess, as a kid. I never thought that we would be anywhere near that. Like because the concept was that they were coming from the year like 3000 something.
Yeah.
So I mean, that if the show was really popular like in like 2005 or something like that, I did not think that by 2023 they would be actually rolling out this meat. And then if they serve it at restaurants,
Jeffersons,
they're saying it's going to be available, like accepted to be served at restaurants. Now you have to literally ask questions. Like when you get there, it's like, where's the basis of the meat coming from?
Yeah.
You've never had to ask that at a restaurant. You just like they bring you tacos, you just eat the tacos.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, bro,
It's scary. It's scary.
And
They're gonna be our source for our potatoes and
Yes.
literally.
We'll have to live
and I
off
gotta have my
potatoes
sister
alone.
Deja move her spot down here too. She got over 30 something fruits vegetables,
Wow.
and flowers.
That's so
I'm
dope.
like, bro, and she has animals,
Oh wow.
like more like frogs and dogs.
Well,
It's cute little things for now.
for now. I'll eat frog.
Yeah, man, I guess.
Ew,
But,
that's not kosher.
all right.
It's not.
Frog?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no.
it's not. Yeah,
See, these are the levels of the truth.
A lot of
These are the levels of the truth.
a lot of them can be poisonous too.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah,
It happens.
yeah, but
You'd be better off eating crickets.
but circling back to our conversation about love,
No.
maybe we just need robot,
Wives.
companions.
Negative.
Robo wife. I told you I have a friend who said he might try it for real. If the right robot walks by, he might be interested.
That is crazy. Because no, I'm not about to even consider thinking about a robot.
Would they argue with
They're
you? like-
marketing this stuff, you guys. They're marketing this stuff in the news too.
I think it's all part. I think it's to get us towards and pushing us towards the metaverse.
If she
We already
appears
have
as
robot
flesh,
dogs.
like if they're cloning someone's flesh by lab grown whatever, just like the meat, it's a clone of the flesh, and she's not a robot. She looks flesh, but she's not real on the inside. That's where it will get people.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of men who are like addicted to porn
Yeah.
and to the fake realities and very strange sort of kinks. And if a robo lady is portraying those things, but she's not real only on the inside, I do think that there are men out there, lots of men out there who will go for that.
Oh yeah. I mean, they already are.
They can even program them to like argue with you back if that's what you like.
I think we already established, like, before, like, during podcast planning that most men will put their junk in a hole on a wall. And so if you put a whole thing, like, in front of that looks like a woman, like, that's...
Now
Boy,
I'm
that
thinking
is
how
ultimate
expensive this
confusion.
will be because like a very nice car can run you more than 200,000.
Oh, they're
Body.
definitely,
$100,000. So a
loan
robo
out
wife
for it.
has got to be expensive.
They already got the robot dogs on the street in China and in New York.
Yeah.
Look, RoboCop, like, we're finna have the robot cops, like, they really finna just we're living in iRobot, like, it's that's what's really about to happen, and all this AI stuff,
Yeah.
like, think of how real they actually might make these people. You got one person, I forget his name, but he's talking about, we are the generation that get to see robots live side by side in humanity, and they're gonna be indistinguishable, like, and it's just like, bro, y'all are really doing this, like, this is
even that
really,
Yeah. You guys really want to ruin our existence. Like,
bruh, like, really, man.
Birthing pains.
A lot of these people already seem like robots to me already. A lot of them be the same people in different bodies,
We're lizards.
or reptilians, right? So, I mean, but yeah, y'all, that's a real current event, robot wives, that's being talked about in media, and that they're really about to come out with this stuff.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, it's unhealthy.
Then I heard the perspective that
You want to share your I guess all you guys, your thoughts on like finding love in Atlanta?
Finding love in Atlanta.
It's probably
hashtag you can't. You didn't like you can't. You cannot find love in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. I don't think that. I do think this city has like lots of very beautiful women, has lots of successful people, men that really like to try to show off their money and stuff. So if you can get past all the distractions of like the women who were like overly exposed and the men who were like overly like trying to show money and jewelry and blah 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 and just
The
trying
Hollywood factor.
the Hollywood factor. If you can really try and get to the core of like who you are and put yourself in settings with other people who are like you,
Yeah.
is more likely. But if you get all mixed up in that, you may be overlooked, or you may fall for the wrong one, or the guy will have a chain on, and then you learn that he does not have a car,
Yeah.
and you have questions at that point. So many
It's
questions.
yeah, we all do live and are based out of Atlanta, you guys. Yeah, that's the thing. It's a lot of distractions.
Yeah, a lot.
I mean, Atlanta, like, I mean, look, like, when I was like on Tinder and stuff, the thing is this is the most moved to state. I put my setting on 1 mile, right? And then maybe a couple months later re-download it, and it's completely new roster within that 1 mile.
Yeah.
People are constantly moving here, constantly, and so it's a thing where, for one, social media just kind of gives you way too many options. And in Atlanta, Atlanta's a party culture, man.
Yeah.
Hookup culture is very strong here. Stop going to hookah lounges and bars thinking you're gonna find your wife there.
No.
If you're in the truth, that is. Um, I say
I'm gonna believe her.
I say end up at parks, end up at nature. Go to Douglasville. You know
Or
what I'm
like
saying?
purposefully, not even, maybe not like you literally are just sitting in the park just waiting for someone to jog by. But like if there's like groups that meet there or like running groups or things like that, I think is a great place
That's what I
to
mean.
find
Yeah.
people that are into the things that you're into. If you're into art, try to put yourself in an art scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, high museum.
But there's no answer. I really don't think there's an answer for this. If it's true, like if it is really the way that you describe it, where it's like your rib exists and like the Most High had this, the physicality of living in this city versus that city, none of that really matters.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
There are a lot more distractions over here.
Yeah. And so it might take a lot more to get to that.
Yeah.
Because that's my main thing. That's why my sister can move out to Ohio and with a couple of years find the man that she wants to marry, and now she's married. A lot less distractions. You know what I mean? A lot of people who live out in these states or places where there's not social media isn't the big thing, and there's not like a bunch of just clubs and party places. People end up married very quickly in those type of environments.
But I think we'd be remiss if we literally said that you can't find love in those
I
environments.
never
'Cause
said that.
I feel like people just stumble across someone's path and it'd be like, I don't even go to the club, and the other person's like, I don't even go to the club. I just came tonight and meet. It will happen. It does
that can happen, but I'm talking about for people in the truth. If you're in the truth, kind of have no business being in certain places.
I agree.
And so again, like that's my saying. If we're talking about probabilities and not making so many mistakes and wasting time on people until you get to who you're meant to be, that's what I'm talking about. You might be in the streets a little bit longer if you're in Atlanta versus a place where you just got home and work, and there's trees and grass in between that with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, homework, trees, grass.
So
and maybe the lady works there too, where you work or something.
And Atlanta's a place people come to network and to work together. And so, like, I mean, people are really about money. It's becoming the East Coast Cali in a way, just in mindset, and Florida's already kind of like that, very kind of shallow mindset, half naked lifestyle state. So it's very fleshy vibes. So, yeah, I still think Iowa, Utah,
those are the places to be.
Like, bruh, like, it might be hard to find black folk, but
when you do find someone, you just be like, all right, let's just stick together.
Yeah, together forever.
Now here you be like, oh, I think I like her, and then like someone else comes walking by, and we're like, oh.
Yeah, that's what I realized down here is like, I do think that you can find love in Atlanta, but it's just the process is a little bit longer than in smaller cities, and everyone here thinks that they have a lot of options, like that, like, oh, I can find someone else, you know what I mean? And like that's not, I mean, like my perspective is like, all right, one at a time, like I try not to have too many options, and it's like, or think that I have too many options. Because it's like that shit. I don't know. I just think that's unhealthy, and you can't like actually get to know somebody.
Is it unhealthy to know you have that many options, or to actually indulge in the fact that you have that many options?
I think it's both. It's both because it's like you wouldn't actually give like all your attention towards one person. You're like, frick that, like that's like that's a red flag. Like I'm not about to mess with it. Or I'm sorry, not a red flag, a yellow flag. A yellow flag. It's like I don't have to go through this, but like it's kind of like it's not relationship building. So
I get it.
And I mean, I do think the men have more options here because there's less of them.
Yeah, there's less men, straight men, and there's a lot more beautiful women, so.
Yeah, there is.
But there's a lot
in that regard, no.
But
then it's like now it's like we're asking for them to be of substance, like beautiful, yes, but like. It's still, I guess it's still, you still have to narrow it down because it's like, but if most of them are kind of like fitting this particular mold and you're looking for that mold, it doesn't matter if there's a million in that category because you don't want that category. So now you're back to like feeling like you have just limited options. It's kind of like you can have people on your phone. It's like someone out here likes me. Like there's people on my phone, that feeling, but it's like, is this person really an option? No. Is this one really an option?
Right.
No. Is this one an option? Hell no.
Yeah.
So now it's still narrow. Like,
sure.
I think whether being in the truth, you're gonna definitely have more narrow options than most people outside of it, for sure.
Yeah.
But hey man, like I said, my prayer, Most High, just put the rib who you created by in front of me.
Yeah.
Like if you haven't already, like
Mhm.
just don't allow me to waste time.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
but all right, where we at? Financial news.
Financial
Yes.
news.
All right, man, what you got for us? This
Um,
actually relates to what we just talked about too.
Yeah. The reason why they come to me for the financial news is because that's what I'm big on. And I was talking about earlier, like my week, like in realizing like, my job's not going to get me towards wealth is I'm working on building a financial firm and I teach people about entrepreneurship. So if you want to learn about entrepreneurship, let's talk. If you guys want to learn about entrepreneurship,
Let's talk.
let's talk. Or, you just want to be a client and work with me on creating a financial strategy. That's what I do. But financial news and understanding what's going on. It's good as Americans to not have such a American view on life. I don't know how to say that any way better, but like
Yeah, or westernized.
yeah, westernized. Like the United States is not the capital of the world. Like there's so much other things that go on, and one of the really big things that are going on right now is that a lot of countries are starting to align more with the BRICS nations and them moving towards more of a gold-backed currency, like a commodities-backed currency. So we see like
So that kind of goes into so that there. I remember you said last episode how there's nothing, like there's no value behind, but now they're trying to put value behind it.
yeah, like I mean, basically Nixon took us off the gold standard in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, not all United States dollars were backed by gold. Now it's backed by the full faith of the United States government, which is basically our military-industrial complex. And countries are tired of it because there's so many dollar bills out here, and it kind of goes into just geopolitics and stuff. But the BRICS nations, the main two players, Russia and China, and they are forming a currency that's gold-backed, but is going to be a digital currency. And we're seeing a lot of countries apply for membership to be a part of the BRICS. I don't you got the G7 nations, which is like the Western countries
trading on these stocks.
Yeah. So you see like Saudi Arabia, Ethiopia, they recently just applied to be part of the BRICS, and a lot of other countries in Eastern Europe, and Africa, South America are applying for BRICS membership, in the Middle East, of course.
I think
Because they're tired of the United States and the G7 nations, which
Yeah.
are England, UK, France. France is burning right now, but yeah, so it's like it was part of like what was I talking about in the last episode? The power struggle.
Mm-hmm.
The power
This is the
struggle
new
you see.
student loans. Student loans is like something all the way in the back of your head. This big wave
Oh yeah.
coming that you have to deal with someday.
Mm-hmm.
That you have to pay for.
Yeah.
And this is just like that.
For the
We're
United
just
States,
slowly
though.
watching the U.S. dollar burn in the back of our head.
Yeah.
Right.
This big fire that's coming, and it's just like, bro, like,
And we just have to like just act natural, act normal as possible. I don't know, just move accordingly,
yeah.
basically.
I
Try
might
to.
switch for about.
Or saying anything is backed by the full faith of, and then like U.S. government in the same sentence is very scary to me. Like the
Yeah,
full
the
faith
full
of the
faith.
U.S.
Like
Because like I don't know too many people that have the full faith in that.
yeah, I can only put my full faith in Yeshua. Like, that's it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good thing I don't have any money to lose.
Yeah. Right.
Because if I did, I'd be mad.
I know, right? Nah, I hear that. I hear that.
Get out of debt, my people. Get out of debt.
Most definitely.
We got to get out of debt because I think that they're going to use that against us.
Yeah.
Like I saw a video on Twitter of like neighborhoods with really nice homes that were abandoned, and it's they're owned by like BlackRock and like major
course.
asset managers, and I think that they're really trying to push us towards these 15-minute smart cities, which is kind of
Misery. It sounds like pure
misery.
misery.
Yeah. So get out of debt, get you some
Can't
land,
Grow
all that.
potatoes on my balcony.
Yeah. No, you can't even do that, can you?
I mean, yeah, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Dystopia on the way.
Yeah, you know, stay faithful.
Stay faithful.
Stay joyous.
Mm-mm.
Stay black.
Stay black for sure.
Stay Israel.
Yeah.
It's right.
I am not a color in a crayon box.
Yes, you're
No,
so much
let
more
me
than
stop.
that.
Let me stop. Let me stop. Well, shoot, y'all. Anything else?
Good chat, guys.
Good
Yeah?
job, yeah.
Had fun today.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Brandon, thanks for putting me on blast and everything. I
asked
so
permission.
much.
I asked permission.
Yes, you did. Right here on camera.
Right.
Which I said we could cut out. We cut out.
No, you guys make me laugh. I always have a great time. I love filming with y'all.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, who's going to outro us?
Until next time, good people. Shalom.
Give me some energy, man.
Shalom.
Nah.
Oh,
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Kingdom Outcast out.
howdy.
Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Deuces.
Peace.
Oh, wait. Promote your shirts.
Get your God Over Money t-shirts. Link is in the description below. Small, medium, large, extra large, whatever size you need. But listen, Yahshua said, you cannot serve two masters. Either you will love the one and hate the other. And you cannot serve Yahweh and Mammon. You cannot serve God and money. You just can't do it. So choose God over money. Seek first the kingdom of the Most High and His righteousness. And all those things, all those worldly things that are going to fade away can be added unto you.
Wow.
Put your treasure
Hallelujah.
on the organ.
Amen.
where moth and rust can't destroy. Okay?
Preach.
Alrighty.
Oh, and incoming Kingdom Apparel.
Yes.
At getgainsgone.com/collections/incoming-kingdom.
Go ahead. Support Israel business.
Deuces.
Peace.
All right. Y'all have a good one. Oh my gosh. So much energy has been drained.